SMU has made the playoffs over Alabama. Wow. Unbelievable. They ranked and put SMU above Clemson, and Clemson just beat SMU last night. Alabama is out of the playoffs. Alabama is out of the playoffs. My goodness. We'll put up the final playoff ranking in just a second, the playoff bracket. Unbelievable. How in the hell are you going to put SMU 11 and Clemson 12 when they just played last night? It honestly makes no sense. I don't even understand it. Like, out of all the things that have happened in the world of college football, I don't understand that. The two teams just played last night. I don't know where it's at, T. Wow. Here's the final look at the playoff bracket. Get it right on screen. The final playoff rankings. My goodness. Absolutely unbelievable. SMU makes the playoffs over Alabama. What's your disappointment level inside the comment box on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the absolute highest? Clemson at 12, SMU at 11, when SMU just lost to Clemson last night. Like, the rankings on the left are trash. So SMU, you lose and you're not ranked lower than Clemson? Man, what a absolutely unbelievable outcome. Alabama's resume, 9th. Strength of schedule, 16th. Wins over teams against 500, 5-1. Key wins, Georgia. They beat the SEC championship, man. Like, unbelievable. They absolutely got hosed. Let's process this for just 1 second. Unbelievable that they didn't make it. I guess the biggest part that I have, like the biggest issue, is how they have SMU still ranked above Clemson when Clemson just beat them. That's what I find that's the biggest flaw within this board right here. And the fact that also teams like Boise State and Arizona State, while they've had great seasons, come on, like those are not the top 12 teams in the country. Look, in terms of Alabama, look, it's over. So I hope that Coach Kalen DeBoer and his staff get the team focused for whatever bowl game that they're going to play in. I hope they don't go back to Mike Norvell and start suing people, because you did have opportunities to make the playoffs. And I think what it came down to, probably what the committee thought about, was the fact that how did Alabama play against Oklahoma? And I think that out of all games this season, that was probably the biggest loss on a national stage that Alabama had, and they really couldn't overcome that type of performance. 24-7, losing to a team that lost 6 games this year was not a good look. They didn't even score a touchdown in that game. They were beaten, in terms of the offense, defense, special teams. It was a poor performance. And I think while everybody knows that Alabama is kind of a feast or famine type team, and that Alabama could potentially even win the championship, as you know, I picked them to win this entire deal. I think the fact of the matter is that people saw Alabama as inconsistent, and inconsistent at the quarterback play, inconsistent in stopping the run, inconsistent in distributing the football, and overall it comes back to bite Alabama. So Alabama not in the playoffs. Alabama, in my best advice, and I hope that Coach Kalen DeBoer is still working on this with his team, is to focus on the Citrus Bowl, whatever bowl they're in. We still have no bowl with where they're going, but focus on that game, work on the roster management, and continue to build on this season. I think that it is disappointing and think about this, Alabama, out of all the teams, they had an opportunity, and they didn't get it done throughout the season. 3 losses. And this is what it tells me too. And this isn't crime, but this is how I'm seeing it. Don't play in the SEC. Don't play. Drop out of the SEC. Be independent and slide in like Notre Dame did. Right? Or join the ACC. Because you know that Alabama would have won the Big 12, the The ACC, right? Crazy. Just really disappointing to see Alabama on the outside of the first 12 teams. Out of 12 teams in the country, Alabama is not one of them. That is absolutely crazy. And your top teams are Oregon, Georgia, Boise State, and Arizona State. What a world, right? You had to make the conferences happy. And that's how it shakes out.
Yeah, this isn't going to last long.
It's not going to last long because what's the point in playing in the SEC? Like the SEC, you play in the SEC to play in high-profile games, to play against the best competition weekly, to get your players ready for the NFL draft, right?
But, they couldn't let Bama in, twice controversially in a row.
Yeah, that's also true. Yeah, yeah.
They're playing.
They were. That's a really good point. And SMU probably has better lawyers than Florida State.
Yeah, for sure. They have more money.
So look, Alabama out of the playoffs. You focus on the next goal, and you don't say why not play the game. But look, you can't lose 3 games. And that's what it comes down to. You can't play how you did against Vanderbilt. You can't. They were out coaching that game. They were outplayed by Oklahoma, and that's not being prepared. They lost what? How many games on the road?
Yeah, we
you lost to Tennessee on the road. You lost to Oklahoma on the road. You lost to Vanderbilt on the road, right?
No, yeah, Vandy was on the road.
And I think that's a sign of a coach that took over. That look, SEC is a gauntlet, and that's just how it's going to be. You know what the thing is? This is not going to change throughout the next couple of seasons, though. Like, the SEC is going to continue to have teams that have lost 3 games, that are a top 12 team, but don't make it and are penalized for being in the SEC. I promise you. If you're at the SMU or if you're Clemson, you're welcome to come under the SEC. They won't touch it, right? Because there's a different level of competition on a weekly basis. So SMU makes it. Congratulations to them. You know what? They did have a good season. And I think when you look to kind of the athleticism that they have, I do like it. And I do like their coach. In Clemson, look, they were able to win the ACC championship game. But you know what was interesting, too, is they just lost to – and these are the things that aren't going to sit well. We'll move on for this. But these are the things that – and I'm going to leave you with this. These are the things that don't sit well with me about Alabama not making it. Okay, my final point. Alabama beat Georgia, the SEC champ. Alabama beat South Carolina, okay? Georgia beat the pants off Clemson, and South Carolina just recently beat Clemson. Clemson beat SMU. SMU has a better spot in the playoff bracket than Clemson, the team that they just lost to last night. How does that make sense?
That was done for ratings.
And they milked that spot. ESPN, that was disappointing too, to be able to milk that all the way for the poor people for like 10 minutes or whatever you did. I just don't understand how Clemson is 12 and SMU is 11. I really don't. The 2 teams just played last night. Clemson was leading 24-7, and you see it. So I don't know. I'd imagine the Bulls come out soon. You can't lose the games. Alabama not in the playoffs, and that's how it shakes out.